Welcome to Big Blend Radio's Jefferson Highway Show. This historic highway was formed in 1915 by the Jefferson Highway Association. It runs from Winnipeg, Canada, all the way to New Orleans, Louisiana. Let's go! Welcome, everyone. Today's Autumn Adventures on the Jefferson Highway episode spotlights fall events and activities in Greenville, Texas, Franklin, Kansas, Carthage, Missouri, the Hot Springs region of Arkansas, DeSoto Parish in northwest Louisiana, and McAllister, Oklahoma. Let's go. So Stacy Foley here from Greenville is on the show. So Greenville is in Texas and is definitely part of the historic Jefferson Highway. It is a community that is part of what we say the Pines to Palms Highway. And Stacy is a tourism manager for Greenville Tourism. And you can go to the website, which is linked in the episode notes. Go to Travel Greenville, Texas, or tx.com. Did I get that? Travel Greenville. So
That's
welcome
correct.
back, Stacy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm excited because this show is airing when we're actually going to be in your town. I love this. This is so cool. And give everyone an overview of where Greenville is on the highway, because I know you're near Bonham and Denison, right? So
Yes. Going from north to south, it's Denison, Bonham, Wolf City, and then Greenville. And as far as in the state of Texas, we're about 45 miles northeast of Dallas.
okay, so people that are flying into Dallas, this is a place to go if you live in Dallas. See, this is the thing that I think is so cool is that people can, from Dallas, you're hearing about the Jefferson Highway, but I kind of put Dallas on the corridor too because it's only 45 miles, like you say. This is like an escape. Do you get people coming to Greenville over like for a weekend and things like that?
We really don't have a way to monitor that or know that unless we just happen to someone communicates with them. But we're working on something that kind of lets you know more about visitors in your town. So hopefully soon we'll have a better idea of where people come from. We also do have our own airport if people want to fly in on their private jet for those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, excuse us.
Yeah. That would be
We
fantastic.
haven't, you know what? That's a whole show we should do is like flying on the highway, right? Like, because we
There
should
you
look at all
go.
the airports on the highway. That is, you've given us such another map idea. Thank you so much, Stacy, for that.
You're welcome.
Everyone has, I've talked about on the shows, we're developing the Jefferson Highway Travel Guide, which you'll see Greenville in. And also at this point, really developing this intricate map showing you all the towns on the highway and the general corridor, right? Because this is a historic highway from 1915. So when we look at this, it's really fascinating. So there's alternate routes. There's, we go into Arkansas and it's like, yes, Arkansas is in, then it's not. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. But the reality is this is a cool tourism route to do from Winnipeg to New Orleans or New Orleans to Winnipeg. You can do it the whole thing at one time or do parts of it. And for those who are living Dallas, like, come on, man, it's just down the road. Take a nice
Absolutely.
weekend escape. And so we're going to talk about fall in Greenville. But what I wanted to give everyone a sense of what Greenville looks like. I've seen some photos. It looks like your downtown is historic with shops, a winery, coffee places, murals. Am I getting the right vibes here?
You are. There's several boutiques downtown, and used to be more of surrounding Greenville was more farming community and ranching. That's probably declined a little bit, so it's kind of built up more. We have some manufacturing here and all, but downtown is a great place to come and hang out, and we have more than the winery downtown. We have another one out on the south end of town.
So you
And
mean we get to
soon
go to
coming,
two wineries when we visit? I'm just saying. I'm just
yeah.
pulling in a plug there. Okay. We have to. Well, that's cool because Texas is one of the oldest winery regions in this country. And I don't know if people know that, but it is.
I didn't know that.
It is. California, obviously. New Mexico was first, believe it or not. New Mexico was first. And
Downtown, we also have a daiquiri bar. We have a Ashen Rose that has craft beers. And then soon, it's in the works. It's in the preparations. to have a brandy bar that will be coming. Well, they'll serve brandy, and I think they're going to have like a cigar, like a humidor place
Really?
and cigar smoking. So we've got even more stuff coming.
That's really unique, Stacy. I don't think, I mean, we travel the country full time. I don't think I've heard of many brandy bars. That's a unique thing to hold on to.
Yes.
It goes and it still ties to the agricultural roots, right? So when you look at Greenville right now, is there still agriculture going around? But you said it's mostly developing now, getting to manufacturing, but still the historic downtown. But can you still like go to museums or anything like that to kind of, I think because fall is like harvest time. I always think it's like the agricultural time. Spring, I mean, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, hay
We have
baling and
a lot of hay. You'll see a lot of hay fields around Greenville, so that's kind of something that you just see out in the
I love
fields.
it.
But yeah, me too.
It's beautiful. How do they do that? I mean, I can't even make a jelly roll kind of, the Swiss roll cake thing. I'm like, I always look at hay bales being all rolled up perfectly and going, how do they do that when I can't even do a cake?
They have the right machinery.
I'm telling you, man, I know some farmers and ranchers, and some of them are like, if you don't go exactly at the right time, there's like this precision to doing it that I think we're going to have to do an interview on that at some point.
A gentleman in town who is 101, and I spoke with him the other day, and he said, "Well, I can't really talk to you right now. We're trying to get the hay in." So he's a little farmer, and he fought in World War II, and spunky
Wow.
little guy. And so he was worried about getting his hay in from the fields at the right or getting it rolled at the right time. So even a 101-year-old gentleman was worried about that.
Yeah, because it's a specific time. You get it there. And, even for, vineyards and stuff like that, it's the same thing. But you bring up World War II. Now, can we mention Audie Murphy? Because,
Yes, you
fall also goes into military history time when we think about, Veterans Day and everything coming up. That's a very important thing. And I know you have a museum that's dedicated to him. And they were on our show a couple of years ago when we were actually doing military history on the Jefferson Highway. So did he live in the town? I'm trying to go back in my
so
memory here.
the museum is called the Audie Murphy American Cotton Museum, and part of it is dedicated to Audie Murphy, who kind of roamed this area, some little communities around here, Kingston. I think he was born in Farmersville, but like Celeste, these are a lot of little towns, but he enlisted in the military in Greenville at the post office. So everybody around here claims him because we just think he's amazing. The other part of the museum is the cotton part, which put Greenville on the map. When the railroad came through, the soil that we have is called blackland, and it is perfect for growing cotton. So part of our claim to fame is that we still hold the record for ginning the most cotton in one day, and the railroad allowed that to really flourish because then we could ship the cotton out. And so the museum is great in honoring both of those, just our local history and then Audie Murphy. And if you're a veteran, I think we have a lot of people that travel here from all over the United States and really all over the world and come to that museum. They've
Hmm.
done a great job. It's fantastic.
And if you're into, movies and TV too, because
Yes.
that's also a part of that history. And I know people who travel just for that. And so he really had quite an amazing life. And it always seems like going into his story that he was just like an upstanding man, just such a positive light. And,
It sounds like in his stories about his in the army, he was fearless. Like he ran into things that people ran away from, and little bitty guy, like I think he was like 5'9", but he was just
yeah.
fearless. So
Wow.
and at the museum, we also they really are very creative in hosting fun events. October 11th will there'll be goofy golf. There's a field right next to the museum, and they'll have it all set up with these crazy golf course things. And then also Frontier Day will be November 1st, where they open up
Oh, thank
blacksmith
you.
shop and teach about history and about frontier days. And so there'll be a lot of fun out there on November 1st also at the
So
museum.
kind of like a Pioneer Day kind of thing.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, cool, cool. So that's everybody at the Audi. I'm not saying it right. Audi. See, I say Audi. It's not a car.
Not a car. No.
Well, I have my own way of pronouncing everything, apparently. So Audie Murphy Museum, everyone in Greenville. So the cotton, so that's also part of that history, right? Is the cotton. So cotton, hay, ranching.
Right.
So you had cattle
And
too in the
if you're
history?
looking it up, you can find it look it up as Cotton Museum, Greenville, Texas, if you wanna look on their website, but that's the easy way to find it.
Cool. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you about is music, because I hear that you have a fiddle fest coming up. And I know, like, come on, that's good. Fall music and fiddle
Yeah.
and acoustic and getting in. I mean, that's part of the ranching history too, is fiddle music.
So the, October 31st through November 1st is our weekend of, the Bob Wills Fiddle Fest, and um there'll be things going on at the farmers market. There'll be a fiddle contest going on at the Texan Theater. There'll be the group, the Western Flyers, the Soda Crackers, the Katy Shore Swing Band, the Last Band Standing. And so there will be big Western Swing Orchestra on Saturday evening and the Dave Alexander Band. So they'll just be fiddle music all weekend. And so it's just a great Red Stegall. And I don't know if I'm saying that right, and the Bob Wills Texas Playboys.
Cool.
Very great list of fiddlers and country music. So they will be going on. Also, just last night we had our grand opening of our newly upgraded and renovated Greenville Municipal Auditorium. The lights and sound are absolutely unbelievable. We had a huge dance party last night, and a group played, and it was amazing. They did a demonstration of the lights, and from October to next April, they already have 39 events booked at the
Wow.
Greenville Municipal Auditoriums. In October, it is a lot of old, what we, I say old, I think of old country as different than country music now, but like Crystal
Yeah.
Gale, Lee
Oh,
Watson, Marty Stewart, a lot.
Marty Stewart, man, he's still
Yeah.
going.
So,
Yeah, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop, man. He doesn't. Wow, that's, that is their music is timeless, right?
right.
So I love to hear that, and I think a lot of people that's going to be a big draw for them. And so this is all going to be in the new auditorium that you're talking about, and that's municipal, so it's your city auditorium, right? So
Right,
this is
and the
exciting.
building is not new, it was built in 1939, but it's all the
Oh,
lights and the sound and the acoustics that have been upgraded, and we
okay.
also added a pops orchestra, which will be performing between October through there with all kinds of they have kinda like theme nights, the Melodies of Nature is one of them. Night at the Movies, so the orchestra will be performing, and they have
Wow.
chamber music. So we've added a lot, and so it's gonna be a busy place, it's gonna be hopping with a lot of music at the GMA, the Greenville Municipal Auditorium.
Ask you this because it seems like, definitely, and we're going to talk about Katy Farm too. And we have Fantasy Fest, Edgar Allan Poe is speaking. Oh, we got stuff to talk about, but that Greenville definitely ranching, farming community, agriculture and all of that's the backbones, right? But it seems like it's really developed into a thriving community. So definitely you're doing things for residents, definitely doing things for those who are visiting. So it really seems you have this really cool balance. What is the population number for people to understand the size of Greenville?
I I am not sure. It is definitely growing, and I'm gonna say it's about 34,000.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's a rough
haven't
number. That's good
yeah,
enough.
that's a
That's
very
a
rough
good,
number,
yeah.
but I think they've said by 2030 should be closer to like 50,000. It is growing. Last weekend we had the Lee Street Jamboree and we had Southall here and block the streets off, have a big, concert right in the middle of Main Street and so we had a pretty large crowd for that and we had starting at 4, we had different groups performing up till Southall took the stage at 8. So a lot of music around here. We had a summer concert series, so it's kind of becoming a music hotspot of all different kinds of music. So
Mm.
it's fun. I love it.
I think I love to hear this where, just it sounds like quality of life to me. I think we talked about that the last time you were on the show. I was like, it just sounds like quality of life. It's like somewhere you want to live and enjoy and visit and just feel like part of the community, right? And I think that's what the
Yes.
Jefferson Highway is about is connecting people on this other way of not just being a tourist. This is about because the Jefferson Highway is about this connected history. So it's like people may be coming in from another community near you, or people who've just coming in from way out of the area or internationally traveling the highway, but understanding the history and wanting to understand the heritage and the culture and the people. So it's different. This is different. This is
Yeah.
not Disneyland, y'all. I'm just saying, but it's this beautiful connection. And I think this is special. So when you hear about how, cities and communities are working together to put the arts on, have these, concerts and all these activities, I think it's lovely. And the museums and yeah, this is a different experience and it's immersive and travel now, people want authentic experiences. Well, this is it, y'all. This is
Yeah.
part of it. Going to these community events where it's not high city stuff, and we do have those on the highway. Minneapolis, we got Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Kansas City. We do. But you know what? These are cities that still feel like communities. I know that from a lot of the ones we've been to. They are still maybe cities, but it's different than New York or LA in a way. But even those have their community vibes, right? So
Right.
this is
Well, and
exciting.
one of the fun things to do in town in the fall, and it does bleed on into the winter, it does continue on during the holiday season. And a lot of people from Dallas and the Metroplex drive over to the Katy farm
Uh-huh.
because it's a tree farm. So at Christmas, it's all about Christmas trees and Christmas stuff. But it opens up this weekend, as a matter of fact, this Saturday, September 27th, and will be open through November 2nd. And it it is just like a pumpkin patch. There's pumpkins to purchase to decorate your home, all different colors, all different kinds. They have a little train ride for the kids, like a animal barn, like kind of like a little petting zoo and playgrounds, corn maze, hay jump. They have a fire going when the weather's appropriate and people make s'mores. And they have some of the most beautiful photo ops. And several people in my family go there every year and have family pictures made because they just build these backdrops with, hay stalks and pumpkins and it really makes a wonderful backdrop. They also do field trips for schools and different children's groups during the week. So there'll be a lot of kids out there. And then there opens on Friday evenings, Saturdays, and Sundays. And then they're going to have a big vendor market on October the 25th. And there'll be like food tastings, or I think that maybe a wine tasting. They'll have live music. So it is just to get to be outside, and especially in Texas after it's so hot in the summer, it's nice to be outside when it cools off and
Mhm.
enjoy the just a beautiful atmosphere. They have a snack shack where you can buy refreshments. Some families just go out there and spend the day and just let their kids play outside and hang out. And it is a fun place to be.
That is cool. I want to go there. I want to go play there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get there. I mean, I know this air is what we're there. It's so cool, So then I want to go to Fantasy Fest. What is Fantasy Fest about? I mean, are we allowed to know since it's a fantasy?
Yes, you can. It's actually Fantasy Fair, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
sponsored by our library, which we have also, if people are into genealogy, they have a
Oh,
whole department. And one of the gentlemen that works there is just amazing at looking up stuff and helping people search for things. So if you're, searching for some family ties or want to
hmm
do some research, we have a great place at the library, but they also have a lot of fun events. And this one will be on October 25th. It's from 10 to 4, and it'll be there on the library grounds, and it's like a Renaissance fair, a little mini Renaissance fair. They're just building, it's just the second year, but they wanna build it up to a big event, and they'll have vendor booths, they'll have shows, people come in costume. Last time they had a blacksmith uh, thing set up where you could make your own knife. It's just like a little Renaissance fair. So it's a lot of fun. They'll have food for sale. They had a magician there last time, and so that's another cool event that goes on in the fall, and that's at the library. And
that's cool.
then this year we're having something new. It's an Edgar Allan Poe speakeasy, and it will be in our historic landmark, which is our old post office that has been renovated, and the Rotary meets there all the time. But it's an event venue, so they it's very little, um, it's just kind of things are kind of dark, Edgar Allan Poe was kind of
Yeah,
a
he
dark
was.
writer.
Was.
And so as you're watching these performances, these monologues of some of his works, or there was a couple that I've seen where like two people interacted together, but they serve cocktails that tie in, they're named and tie in with that particular reading or that particular part of the story that of Edgar Allan Poe's. So that is going to be here October 17th through the 18th. And it is fun. So I'm excited about that
I
also.
want to go. Edgar Allan Poe is like people travel for that too. They go to his gravesite and everything too. And when you talk about music, Lark and Poe is like a famous duo, sister duo in blues music, and that's their great grandfather.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like a distant relative. And so Poe part is to, pay homage to him, Edgar Allan Poe, and they're amazing. They're amazing. Everyone look up Larkin Poe, but um, yeah, I love, I mean, it just seems that you have so many facets to your community. What are the lodging makeup for people? Is it, I know you got brand hotels, right? You've got, regular hotels
Oh,
for people
yes.
to stay in and yeah.
Great hotels. We have downtown on Main Street, we have some lofts that you can search and find on like Airbnb and Verbo. It's called Lofts on Lee. So our main street is Lee Street. So Lee, Lofts on Lee. And then just outside of town, we have this really cool, it was on a lavender farm, but they
Ooh.
have tree houses that you can rent to spend the night in. It's really cool.
Stacy, before you go, I know that there's a special event that is this week.
So this is an event that is one of the coolest annual events that we have, and it's called Bras for the Cause Hunt County. And every year they choose a theme, and people take bras and decorate them in that theme. And then the whole night, streets are blocked off. People are walking up and down. They're voting for the bras that they want, and you can go to on Facebook. You can go to B the number 4, EC Hunt County, and you can go through some of the archives and look at some of the pictures. You would not believe how many ways there are to decorate a bra. And they raised
Mm.
last year, I think they raised for that event, they raised $139,000. Some of the things that they've used for the funds is a mobile mammogram vehicle that goes around, and some of the people who don't have insurance or are low socioeconomic are able to get a mammogram. They have raised money for machinery at the hospital that helps with radiation. They
Wow.
have a place where women who have had breast cancer can go and get free mastectomy bras and help with things that they need while they're recovering from breast cancer. It is one of the most fun, amazing events. This year's theme is boob tube. So it'll be any kind of TV show throughout the history of TV. You can model a bra after that. And then they give out awards at the end, and they're called, instead of, it's like a Barbie doll, but it's called a Brobby award, and they're painted hot pink and have glitter all over them, and you'll see them all over town. People are proud to win those and display them because it's such a big deal all over town.
What TV show would you do yours over?
I'm gonna do mine on MASH with
Cool.
the theme of a mammogram, but I don't want to reveal my secret because I don't want anybody else to copy it. So
Okay. Well,
that's what I'm working on.
if I was to do it, I would go to Mrs. Roper,
Ah,
you know,
love it.
and somehow have to have a moo because that is a moo. Okay. That is not a caftan. That is a moo. There's a difference between the caftan and the moo, and that is a moo. So I'd have to have a moo bra and
Well,
somehow make that work.
you would not believe how outlandish and how crazy people get here with all this stuff. So yes, you will be shocked at the creativity and how many ideas people will come up with that. So I'm sure there may be a Mrs. Roper bra there that night. We don't know.
Oh
If I
my
do, I'll
gosh.
take a picture and send it to you.
Oh,
But
you better.
of
I
course,
want to
I
see
was
that
thinking
moo
of
bra.
Twin Peaks was the first thing I thought of, but
Oh, you're going to have cherry pie in between there. You know, cherry pie on, Twin Peaks cherry pie, and then there's Madonna with the cones, anyway.
oh, yes,
Oh yeah,
all kinds of things you can do. So
This is a whole show we could be doing
yes.
on this, but Twin Peaks, I know somehow cherry pie has to be involved with that. Wow. All right, Stacy, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and hope y'all will come and enjoy that evening. That's on October the 9th.
We can't wait to see you, Stacy. We saw you we've met you before, so this is even cooler, right? We get to revisit you and see you in your hometown of Greenville. So everyone stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot of interviews and features coming out from Greenville and that region. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much. And everyone, again, go to travelgreenvilletx.com to plan your visit. So fall sounds great, y'all. So thank you. Thank you, Stacy.
You bet. Y'all come see us. We'll show you a good time.
So everyone, today we are going to find out about fall fun on the Jefferson Highway in Missouri, in Kansas, and finally Arkansas. And that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with Tiffany Bertram. Her and her husband Bob own and run Tiffany's Bed and Breakfast in Bismarck, Arkansas. And Bismarck is like a little mining destination. It's outside of Hot Springs, really close to Hot Springs. But Nancy and I go and see them every year. And this August, we were on our way to Colorado after we left them. And all we did was take a left out of their driveway and then another quick ride. I mean, within miles, short, like 5 minutes. And lo and behold, we didn't quite realize it, but we were on the Jefferson Highway. This was a proposed route. And then I think that they did do it at one point. But you know what? As far as we're concerned, the more route, the better. So welcome back, Tiffany. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, this is cool. So Bismarck is like a mining community because the mine is actually in your backyard, and everyone to see their beautiful backyard, go to tiffany'sbedandbreakfast.com. As always, the links are in the episode notes. But yeah, you've got the mine, right?
We do. And I just a couple days ago met a woman who knows a ton of history about our area. And she told me all kinds of things about the mine and stories I hadn't heard before. And she says she has a bunch of pictures that she's going to give me. So I'm dying to find out. We've been here for almost 20 years and I'm still finding out more stuff about this mine.
Wow. And it's on your property.
It's on our property. The remnants of it are.
I was going to ask you too, with this being on your property, when did the mine start? Do you know, like roughly?
It was around the turn of the 20th century.
Okay.
Late 1890s or something to early 1900s. So it's been a while.
Okay. Yeah. Because I'm just thinking the Jefferson Highway started in 1915 was when it was first proposed.
Okay. It would have been in its prime around then.
Cool. Now, what does it look like right now for fall? What is it like?
Well, right now it's still pretty and green, but fall here typically doesn't hit until mid-October to mid-November that's typically our peak time period. So you've still got time to book a fall getaway.
Cool. Good weather.
Beautiful weather. Fall is probably one of my favorite seasons here in this area. And we've got a special package that we've got available for the fall. It includes 2 tickets to Garvin Woodland Gardens, which is a wooded botanical garden in Hot Springs, they've got the beautiful, pretty formal flower beds, and then they've got just nature trails out into the woods. It's on a peninsula on Lake Hamilton, so all kinds of beautiful views and beautiful flowers there. So the package includes that and then a s'mores kit to come back here and sit around our fire pit at night and watch the colors, watch the stars. So that's available for any time of year, but it's especially nice in the fall to see the colors and spend a lot of time outdoors.
And so, I love this. So we're talking about all these wooded areas and, it's so beautiful out there. And fall is a great time. The temperatures are perfect, right? To get out to Arkansas. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Arkansas in a second and Hot Springs and the events you can experience. We're going to go up the road, up the highway. We're going to go to Franklin, Kansas. And we're going to visit with Phyllis Bittner again from the Miners Hall Museum. She's been on the show a few times, and I encourage you to go check out their website as well so you can learn more about the mining history and or the immigrant history, just such fascinating history that comes out of there. Go to minershallmuseum.com. So welcome back, Phyllis. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for having me again.
Hey, it's always good. It's always good. Now, before we started recording, Tiffany had said that she had been to some areas in Kansas and seen Big Brutus. Now, isn't that kind of connected with some of your history and exhibits?
Yes, we are both museums that are telling the stories of the mining history of Southeast Kansas. They have Big Brutus, which is a massive piece of equipment that absolutely everyone must go and see. It's not directly on the Jefferson Highway, but it's a short distance off of Jefferson Highway. It's definitely worth the trip over to visit them. And then our museum, we tell the story from the immigrants coming to this country and how they lived, how they worked, how they socialized, as well as their mining experience. And we have a lot of mining equipment and tools also on display.
That's awesome. And the other thing is you have a nice park, right? And that's another part for, enjoy some nice fall weather to sit out in the park next to you with a
Yes.
garden.
Yes, we have three pieces of property, and one being the museum, and then a block north we have the Franklin Community Park, which we own and operate now. And it is beautiful. It has a walking path, a memorial garden, a pavilion with barbecue pit, and we have horseshoes, bocce, basketball. Just there's a lot to do, and so anyone traveling, it's the perfect spot to stop and to rest, have your lunch, grab a lunch somewhere and bring it to the park to eat there. And we're in the process of kind of doing a lot of updates. We've had a couple of local foundations that have granted us some funds to help with upgrading the playground equipment and such. But it's a beautiful park, and you can see it. You can go on either Facebook or to our website, and it tells a little bit more about it and all the facilities that are available. And then we are
Hmm.
also creating a new dragline park, which won't be a park in the term of playground equipment, but we are bringing a piece of equipment to that piece of property. Hopefully by the end of the year, it will be there. It will be the largest display of a walking dragline in the United States and only one of two in the entire United States. So we're
Wow.
excited about that. And that'll be a great place for people to stop and have lunch also and see this magnificent piece of equipment. And that's also free. So it's another free site along the Jefferson Highway.
It's another giant on the highway. I like this. We
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
this. I want to go
Yeah.
up a little bit. Oh, tell us real quick, what does it look like in Franklin, Kansas during the fall?
Well, we're kind of in the same thing that it's right now everything is still pretty green, and about mid-October is when things will kind of start to pick up and start the changes of colors. And fall is a beautiful time, and the park is also that's a beautiful time to visit the park. And then we have a big event coming up in November that we can talk about later or whenever.
Okay, yeah. I want to go up. We're going to get on to stay on the Jefferson Highway and also hit up Route 66, which celebrates its centennial next year. We have Jana Conklin back on the show. Jana, this is so exciting because when you go look at Boots Court Motel, this is like the epitome of a roadside motel from like the road tripping era that just blossomed a century ago. They're also a visitor center. They're based in Carthage, Missouri, and you can go to bootscourt66.com. Anna, welcome back. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, it is good to have you here. And give everyone a little history of Boots Court because how old is the motel?
So Arthur Boots built Boots Court in 1939, the front building, and that's our rooms 1 to 8. And then our back rooms, that building was built in 1946.
Okay. So this is some good history. We're getting towards that centennial there, huh?
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So this is the actual motel, but then also Route 66. So he was pretty visionary, knowing that this is going to be something important to have for the community.
Yeah, I think he put so much thought into where he put it. And yeah, just also made Boots Drive-In right across the street. And it's just amazing all the things he thought about.
And the drive-in is still going, right?
Now, this is where they have the burgers and shakes. It is not. It's a bank right now. The Route 66 drive-in, yes, is still open. I know it gets a little confusing.
Hey, but that's still, I mean, burgers and shakes, I'm in. I'm
I
all
know.
for that. It really goes with it. Does Carthage itself kind of really go off on that road trip feel, that nostalgic feel as a community?
Yeah, I think we are getting there together, and it's been fun with the city partnering with Boots Court Visitor Center now, and the fall is just a beautiful time to come and visit Carthage. We just have so many great things going on, and just the colors and the changes of the leaves, and we just have so many beautiful maple leaves. That's what we're known for here in
Oh,
Carthage. So it's a great time to come and visit.
wow, this is amazing how everyone is so different. We had Erin and Cassandra on the show, and Beth. Beth is from Veneta, Oklahoma, with the Highway Cafe and Western Motel, and that is super cool. She's really working on that too. And then Erin and Cassandra have Gearhead Curios and Petrol Motor Court, and it was so funny because we also had Glenda Smith from Owatonna, Minnesota, from the Chamber and Tourism there, and she's talking about the fall leaves and everything. Beth, Erin, and Cassandra are like, "Well, here we have hay bales. We don't really have the fall thing." And I'm like, do you know how many people will travel to see hay bales and barns and,
That's
so
right.
it is so different. And I think, Phyllis, do you have the trees or are you more the hay bale kind of, what is that landscape like?
We actually have a more Winmar garden patch, and they have our pumpkin patch, and they do a great display, and it's just not even a block off of the highway there in
Mm.
Franklin. But mostly it's, the color of the trees turning, and like at our park, the memorial gardens and everything is usually pretty fall
Wow.
colors. It's a beautiful time to walk the walking path and enjoy that.
Don't you have one of the longest sidewalks or something?
We do. It is listed on the state and the National Historic Register. So we always tell everyone to walk the walk. It's 1.7 miles long. It's the longest sidewalk connecting two communities in the United States. So, it's kind of famously known for that. And it's
My
right along the highway also.
Betsky needs to kind of walk. It needs it. It needs it. But I love this with the fall colors, and I know Tiffany's their fall colors and the trees and all those. Oh my gosh, you have so many trees. It's got to be glorious at your place, Tiffany, during the fall with all the colors.
We've got every color, every tree.
The Japanese maples too have got to be just, man. Well, I'm loving this. This is like all these different, things, experiences you can have. And Jana, going back up to you. So, does the drive-in stay open during the fall and into winter, or does it close down at a certain point?
Yeah, they have a certain time. I believe they are open from April to the end of September for their time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so everyone, yeah, because it does get a little chilly, right? So tell everybody a little bit. And by the way, when you book into Boots Court, you're going to have a radio in the room. And that was a big deal in history, right? To have radios in the room. So that's
It
super
was.
cool.
Yeah, and Arthur Boots started that slogan when he made the motel, and that was a luxury. And we just decided to keep that going. So your radio's turned on and the lamp is low when you check in, and everybody tells us it's just like stepping back in time.
Awesome. That is super awesome. Now, what are some of the events and activities that people should know about for Carthage during this time of year? And how many people do you think live in Carthage? Like, how big is it?
I believe we have about 15,000. Right during October is a great time to come because it's our huge Maple Leaf Festival. It is the 59th annual festival. So there's just so many things during that week. And we have parade and a car show, just a lot of great things that everyone loves to come into. And it's it's awesome because our motel books for that whole weekend, and we get to have all the guests here, and it's just a good time.
So nice big festival. What was the date again?
The actual festival is the 16th, 17th, and 18th are the
Ah,
main dates.
perfect, perfect. And then, Phyllis, you were mentioning a big event that you have coming up in November.
Yes. This is our annual fall event, and it's called Making Spirits Bright. Sometimes we do a Christmas theme, but this year we're having it a little earlier. It's November the 8th. So we're really going all out with all the fall colors and the pumpkins and the fall decorating. It is just an evening of fun, and people absolutely love it. We have six celebrities who serve as a bartender, and they're creating a little craft cocktail and teaching the guests how to make it, and then the perfect hors d'oeuvre to be served with it. And the guests move from table to table, the bell rings, and it's just a fun
Wait a
event. And
minute.
yeah, so they're going to get six samples of six different cocktails. They're going to learn how to make them. They're going to get six different hors d'oeuvres that go with specifically with that cocktail. And then when they leave, they get a glass and the recipes and a little gift bag with them. And then there's the competition for who's the favorite bartender, and it's always hilarious. It's fun and spirited, and uh, $1 is a vote for that particular bartender. And it is just an absolutely fun and different evening. So it's always a sold out event. So we always tell everybody when tickets go on sale, be sure and call and get your tickets because they will sell out quickly because, of course, our space is limited. The event is November the 8th, and like I say, it'll be a great fall event for anyone, and they can follow us on Facebook at Miners Hall Museum or go to our website, which is minershallmuseum.com, and learn
Yeah.
more about it, and the tickets go on sale to the general public October the 15th. If you're a member, they go on sale October the 8th. We always give our members the first chance at tickets, but there will be some tickets available for the general public on October the 15th.
Jealous that we're not able to go because Tiffany, Nancy and I would be there, right? You know
I
that.
know.
I think Phyllis knows.
And it is fun. Everyone I mean, we have some repeat people that they're like, they are first in line to get tickets because every year we have different celebrities that serve as the bartenders and they want to be there for it. And different drinks, different food every year. Nothing is repeated. So it is a fun
Fair. That is so smart too. And I have to tell everyone, so Phyllis, we talked about this on the last, the part 1 of the fall adventures on the Jefferson Highway. Phyllis was at our table for the murder mystery dinner at the Jefferson Highway conference in McAllister this year. And she turned out to be the killer. And I knew she was going to be the killer because she's so sweet. And that's how women kill. They kill with kindness and a little poison. So watch what's in those cocktails. I'm just kidding. I know. I'm like, she's going to be the murderer or murderess, excuse me. But it was
idea. We should have had a Bloody Mary. I didn't think about that. We don't have a Bloody Mary this year, but that would have been funny. I didn't think about
next year, Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it. Tiffany, what are some of the events happening in Hot Springs or in the region that people should know about?
There are a lot. Starting off every Thursday in October, the Bridge Street Live Entertainment District will be open. Bridge Street is the smallest working street in the world. And that's also where we have the world's shortest St. Patrick's Day parade in March. But in October, they're just going to open it up every Thursday night. There's live music, there's vendors, there's food. So those are always a real fun time. The Hot Springs Documentary Film Festival is October 10th through the 18th. That is the longest running documentary film festival in the country. And I think I just heard today that they are going to have a record number of entries of documentaries in that festival this year. And then in November, the 7th through the 9th, we've got the Good Run Mountain Bike Festival, which always brings in a ton of mountain bikes to ride our mountain bike trails. And then the Spa Running Festival, which is you can do a 5K up to a 10K run on November 15th. So there's always something fun happening in Hot Springs.
That's right. And it's a national park.
And
it's a national park as well. So that's fantastic. So everyone, make your reservations now. Like I'm just saying, fall is such a busy travel time. It used to be like the shoulder season, but I think now with people working remotely as well, that there's more travel happening in October than years and years ago. So Jana, it's got to be especially for next year for you guys getting those reservations in with the centennial happening for Route 66. Don't wait, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are already seeing those reservations come in. So get your dates and reserve right away.
What is your favorite activity or favorite fall day or evening in Carthage?
That's tough. I think just any day in October, it's just the weather is cooler and just the trees just changing. Yeah, I just love October.
She's okay. Now, do you have like good shops for holiday shopping getting kicked off in the fall? I always say everyone should start early so they don't go crazy at the end, that last minute drama.
Yeah, we have a lot of cute boutique shops, a lot of antique stores. Our square is really neat. yeah, there's a lot of choices, a lot of fun things to do just walking around outside, especially because the weather's just so beautiful in the fall.
I love it. And then I was going to say, Phyllis, when people are coming to Franklin, Kansas, lodging wise, we know where to stay when you go to Hot Springs area and when you go to Carthage. So you got Boots Court. Okay. And you got Tiffany's bed and breakfast. But when they visit you, should people look at mostly like Pittsburgh, Kansas for lodging?
Yes, that would be the most logical place. Like I said, it's about 7 miles from us, but that's the closest big city or big area. And there are many hotel options and bed and breakfast and Airbnbs that are in Pittsburgh. They can just do a search online, and Pittsburgh would be the place to stay. We're a small community of about 200 people. We just happen to be very active with the museum and the park, but there aren't a lot of big businesses in our community. So Pittsburgh is where they would need to stay.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, everyone, again, I'm going to give out the websites. You've got Boots Court, 66.com, minershallmuseum.com, and Tiffany's bedandbreakfast.com. Check those out. They're linked in the episode notes. Make your plans, hopefully, for this fall. But if not, start planning your road trip adventures on the Jefferson Highway with these websites and these destinations. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So we're going to go to DeSoto Parish in Louisiana, which is a destination on the Jefferson Highway, and I encourage you to go to their website, which is discoverdesoto.com. And I'll tell you what, Louisiana in the fall, you can't beat it. It's beautiful temperatures. You can still see gators out there in those swamps. I'm serious. But anyway, DeSoto is close to Shreveport, a little I'm going to say southeast. I'm going to be corrected here any second. We have Charlotte Knotek back on the show again from Discover DeSoto. So welcome back. How are you
Thank
doing,
you.
Charlotte?
I'm great. I am actually on the riverfront in Logansport. The weather is beautiful. They're starting to set up Christmas lighting, and so I'm out here helping them do that today. And the weather is gorgeous.
You're in one of my favorite community parks, aren't you? In
Correct.
Logansport. And it has those
Yes.
beautiful gazebos and people can take their boats and their kayaks. It's where that veterans talk about, fall. We got to think Veterans Day is coming up. But isn't there that Veterans Memorial there?
They have a veterans memorial here, a veterans wall, a pickleball court, a great park for the kids to play in, and lots of old crepe myrtle trees. I'm sitting in the shade of probably 75-year-old crepe myrtle trees right
Oh
now
my gosh,
along the
I love
river.
those. And listen, the kids part where the playground as an
The
adult,
water,
I want
right.
in I want in there. I want to
They have
play.
a little water feature spray pad, and they just enjoy it. You can still enjoy it. It's still hot enough to enjoy that after school and
Yeah.
come to the park or fish off the bank. Whatever you want to do here in Logansport, it's a great place to bring the kids.
Now, I wonder if where I'm going to talk about that, it just dawned on me that it's near there. And I believe you go, like if you're heading to DeSoto Parish and you're coming, I think maybe from Shreveport, I'm not sure, or you're coming from the west to you and you're going towards Logansport. I remember right before a bridge that there's a place with like a horse and
Yes,
wagon. Okay.
that as you come into Logansport from the east going west, the entrance of Logansport has an old Conestoga wagon there with a horse and a pioneer-looking man sitting in it. Yes, that's the entrance to the town of Logansport going
Okay.
west toward
Well,
Texas.
I bring things like that because all of us who are road trippers love to find,
It's a great photo
roadside.
spot. Yes.
Yep, roadside attraction there, but very excited about what's happening. You've got a lot going on in DeSoto Parish, and you've got a lot of different communities. Am I right that it's southeast of Shreveport? I'm
Right.
building
Pretty
this huge map, so I should get this
right.
right.
Pretty much straight south of Shreveport on 161 is
Okay.
and then you kind of veer west. Yes, it's really more southwest, I would think. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now we're going to talk about some of the events coming up. So if you're in the region, you want to get to these or mark your calendars for next year to know what is happening. I love these kinds of conversations because you get a feel for the communities that make up these destinations on the historic Jefferson Highway. And the first big weekend is coming up this weekend as this airs. It's October 10th and is all about antiques and treasures. What is happening? Charlotte, this looks like a lot of shopping going on for the
A lot of
holidays.
shopping. Yes. A lot of people use this weekend to get ready for the holidays. Every second Saturday in October is the 50-mile Trail of Treasures, and it starts in the northern part of the parish in Stonewall. It comes to Grand Cane. Grand Cane was established in 1899, and then it goes south to Mansfield and then west to Logansport. And along that trail, you can find vintage items. A lot of men look for vintage tools, antiques, home decor, clothing, new and old items. Some people clean out the garage and put it, as long as you're set up along the trail, you're part of the trail. It is free to set up. So there are a lot of people a lot of Christmas, you can get a lot of neat Christmas decorations and vintage Christmas decorations that are very hard to find now. And just people cleaning out, maybe a deceased family member's home or whatever, but sometimes it's new. A lot of food trucks are along that way as well. So it is always the second Saturday in October in DeSoto Parish. And
also
it covers the whole parish. So you get restaurants are full, and some people, a lot of food trucks come that day and set up along the trail. It's just a fun day, and the weather's gorgeous.
Now, I know one part of the event is the Antique Adoption Fall Trade Days, and isn't that set up really close to the winery? Because, harvest happened.
Yes, and he had a great harvest. His musky dime and his red grapes, it was a great harvest. The weather was just right. The cold did not freeze the grapes. So it is actually on Highway 5. If you're coming south from Shreveport, you turn west on Highway 5, and the winery, Kickapoo Twist Winery, is right there. About 2 miles west of that is the Antique Adoption Trade Days. And she has that parking is $5, but the admission to the trade days is free. And it is the same weekend as the 50-mile Trail of Treasures. So we have a lot of shoppers in the parish that weekend.
Well, moving to the next weekend, you also have the Grand Cane Car, Truck, and Tractor Show, and this is October 18th. And I think this is going to be of great interest to Jefferson Highway folks, because we do like to go look at
vintage cars. Yes,
vintage, classic, all of it. Yeah.
And this does include vintage tractors too. So we have a rural background, so there are some vintage tractors involved. That is held in the downtown Grand Cane area, right there on Highway 171. The last year we did it, we had 92 entries. So you would think that little town, it was just packed with vintage cars, and people are just meandering. We get prizes, and there's going to be some raffling. One of the organizers has made 2 fire pits to raffle off, and there'll be food trucks there along with our great coffee shop, the Great Commission Coffee Shop, and also Village Cuisine Cafe and Catering. Village Cuisine Restaurant and Catering. They're both great places to eat, get a quick coffee, but there'll be food trucks and a lot of things for people to see and do there. And there'll be a little some music there.
When you talk about food trucks in Louisiana, because y'all know the food is, and for travelers, don't forget to go to gas stations for food in Louisiana.
Oh, yes. Trail. Yes, we have some great gas station eats. Fried catfish. Sometimes whole plate lunches are at the gas stations. A lot of gas stations have great food. Don't knock it till you try it.
Man, meat pies. I know that hits towards Natchitoches, but I know you guys.
We do have meat pies. Yes. We're not that far away from Natchitoches, so that influence is definitely here too. Hot water cornbread, vegetables, peas, purple whole peas, and hot water cornbread, cabbage. You just good vegetables sometimes at those gas station eats, along with the rest.
What happens at the food trucks? Are they doing more like boudin or po' boys?
Now the food trucks usually sometimes they're like snow cone and ice cream food trucks. We have got a really good barbecue scene on our food trucks in DeSoto Parish. A lot of people like the barbecue that comes from these food trucks. We have one called Crazy Asian Cajun, and it's kind of fusion of Asian food and Cajun food, if you can believe that. There's corn dog queens. We have big pit smoking. There's just a whole different variety. And then there's usually like a catfish chicken strip kind of truck. A lot of fried food. If you don't want to be, it's not it's not a lot of healthy choices coming out of the food trucks. You'll have to go to a
Yeah.
restaurant for that, for vegetables and things like that, but it's good food.
Come on, you're supposed listen, we're getting to that season. So
I
it's like
know.
it's that season.
We need to watch our calories so we won't can fit in our clothes for
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, honestly, Charlotte, the weather's cooler,
Oh,
so it's a
yeah.
good time to go hiking, go on walks and all the parks and stuff. So I'm like,
Yes.
listen, it's time to savor all this good food and get Thanksgiving, got Christmas coming, and
Yes.
then you get king cake for Mardi Gras. So come on now.
Correct.
And then that's why
Correct.
they have Lent, because Lent you can say, all right, in Lent, my thing for Lent will be I'm gonna give up king cake until next Mardi Gras.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we've got a great king cake provider, Sunrise Cookies in Gloucester. She ships all over Louisiana, and her
Oh
king
wow.
cakes are not dry. She gets a lot of business from down South Louisiana, even. If you want things shipped, it's Sunrise Cookies in Gloucester, and they're right there by the winery as well.
Well, that's perfect. Yeah.
She is actually on our gas station Eats Trail too, because she that the building that she's in was formerly a gas station, and she makes homemade breads and homemade cookies and sandwiches. Yes.
Okay.
And
Everyone.
she is healthy. She is a
Oh,
healthy gas station eats trail for sure.
just to tempt you even more, it is National Cookie Month, so we need to all celebrate that and
For
honor the
sure.
cookie.
The cookie industry. We all
Yeah.
honor the cookies, that's for sure.
Yes. Well, the other thing, talk about being naughty, is that you have Night Treat on Elm Street. So that's your Halloween celebration. What town is that in on October
That is
30th?
That is in Logansport on the riverfront. And last year, the Logansport Chamber and the town of Logansport cooperate, and they have a big celebration. Costumes, kids of all ages can come down here, and it's a free event for families, and they gave out 800 bags of candy. This year, they're doing popcorn and water, little healthier treat because kids get a lot of candy nowadays. So they're trying to do it a little bit healthier, but they have a huge playground and it'll be kids everywhere that night. And a
The
lot
other
of the
thing,
adults
oh,
dress up as well. Yeah.
oh,
So it's
come
a
on.
family fun atmosphere, just sweet
Listen,
Halloween celebration.
Charlotte, I know you in Louisiana. If there's a chance to dress up and do any kind of
Oh,
parade, you're
yes.
doing it. It's happening.
It's pretty theatrical here. Sure.
I love it. I love it. Well, you said the word theater. Good segue into the fact that you do have community theater in DeSoto
Yes.
Parish, and there's a show, a back alley, that will be playing, and this is October 17th through 26th. Well, they've got a show. Let me get the show name here for you. The Play That Goes Wrong. Oh, maybe I'm starring in it then. And then they have one coming up for Christmas. It's one Christmas Eve at the Evergreen Mall. That comes up on the 14th. But yeah, to have the back alley, community theater, that's something for folks to do when they spend the night and,
At Cook Hill and Green Cane. We have a bed and breakfast there. It's a great weekend place. Cook Hill and the back alley theater is there in Green Cane, and it is in one of the historic buildings on the end of the downtown area. It's like the 26th or 20th annual. They have been there. That has been a growing grassroots effort. We're very proud of that local community theater.
Now, let's talk cars again,
Okay.
because not only do you have the classic and the vintage trucks, tractors, cars, all of that happening. Again, everyone, that event is the Grand Cane Car, Truck, and Tractor Show, October 18th. But you have the DeSoto King of the Street 2025, and this is like a racing schedule. And this goes October 25th and November 15th. So tell us a little bit. This is in Mansfield, right? For people to go.
This is between Grand Cane and Mansfield at the airport. It's sort of an industrial park area right off 171. It's called King of the Street Outlaws. It's short track racing. It's where they put that nitrogen in there, and it's kind of like as fast as you can go in a short period of time. Just two line up, and they just it's like a sprint. I guess it's like a sprint for a race. A runner. It's short track, quick as you can go, and a lot of times the motors. You don't want to blow up your motor, but you want it to go as fast as possible in a short length of time. It's very exciting. I have been to it. It's late at night and they have food trucks there. It's very family friendly, very fun to watch. High adrenaline. Yes.
High adrenaline and food trucks. I mean, come on now.
That's right.
And don't forget the Redneck Derby's coming to town on November 15th through 16th. We all want to go to the Redneck Derby.
I do
you
want to
know.
go to the Redneck Derby. This is a new event, DeSoto Motorsport. Again, this is in that industrial area off of 171. Ricky Parker, he does a great job. He has made a track that is kind of versatile. It does BMX racing, tractor pulls, and now they're doing a um, derby. And so if you have a junker car that it's a 4-cylinder, 2-wheel drive car, and you want to come out and kind of bang into someone else and go, I think it's a 3-man team, and you go so many laps, you just have to finish. And whoever finishes first is the winner, and you can bang into other cars. You don't want to bring your new car out. In other words, it's like a garage fixer-upper.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a fun race called Redneck Derby.
And you got to wear like your redneck t-shirts, wife beaters, all of it.
Overalls, whatever you want to
And
wear.
you got to have dice on the dashboard, the whole thing.
Fuzzy dice.
And you got to stick things on your car,
I'm sure there's going to be some very, very decorated cars for sure.
Hood ornaments, come on now. I know, I can already see it. I know.
Yes.
The hood ornaments. Crazy.
A fun night for the family. Yes.
Well, I think Jeff Foxworthy should be at this. The MC.
He would fit right in.
He would. He would go up to each car and go, now you are a redneck. No, you're not. You're from out of state. That's funny, man. Well, Charlotte, it's so cool to hear about all these events and the community events. But, that's the thing about traveling on the Jefferson Highway. These communities go to community events, and that's how you become part of the community. And you get to really know an area through the events. You get to know the people. That's the way to, you want to.
We love visitors. We've got great restaurants, friendly people. It's very safe here. And like you said, the weather, this is the best time to live in Louisiana. It is beautiful, starting to cool down, and the fall plants are coming out. It's just the leaves are changing. It's beautiful right now. So come see us on the Jefferson Highway.
Okay, we will.
We appreciate you.
We'll probably see you on our way to Voiles Parish. I'm hoping that we get to
good.
we're trying to do the highway. Absolutely. And Charlotte, Nancy, and I will go eat cookies because we have to do our due diligence, don't we?
That's right. Get your coffee and go get you a cookie. It's cookie and coffee time in Louisiana. My mother always believed in a cookie and coffee at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Solve everything. And then in 2 hours from there, you get to have wine. Then that solves everything too. I love it. I love it. Well, Charlotte, thank you so much. Everyone,
thank you.
Go to discoverdesoto.com, and always fun to chat with you, Charlotte. You take care and enjoy those events.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So now it's time to go to McAlester, Oklahoma. And as you know, that is the site of the conference that happened in June, the Jefferson Highway Annual Conference. It happened in June 2020. It was so cool after having Billy Sumner on the show from Travel McAlester. And you can go to the website, travelmcallister.com. As I always say, the links are in the episode notes. For Nancy and I to go to the conference, of course, and finally get there. And then to finally, after talking to Billy, getting to McAlester. And I'm going to tell you, you've got to go. There's so much history. The downtown is so charming. There's plenty of lodging, great restaurants, just so much to experience. And it was just a pleasure to be there and to also go around the area. That's not so far from McAlester. So welcome back, Billy. How are you?
I am doing great. Thanks, Lisa. I really appreciate it. And thank you for those wonderful, kind words on McAlester and the visit with the Jefferson Highway Convention. We were so happy to have everyone. And even with the unfortunate weather that happened that cut things a little short, we still had a great time and a wonderful visit there in McAlester.
What's the downtown doing? I mean, I always watch everything that's going on, all these communities. I'm like a spy every morning on my phone at 3 a.m. I wake up too early and go, I don't really want to get out of bed, but I'm going to sit and spy on everybody. What town's doing what? I am normal. But it is true. I want to see what's going on, especially places we've been to. But the downtown looks like it did have some unfortunate weather, but it looks like, there's something about the Midwest, y'all. You guys know how to work together to get things moving forward instead of dwindling on like, okay, something negative happened. Let's move forward and get the boat going, you know?
Absolutely. McAllister is very resilient, and I am happy to say that the Old Town district is still thriving. They actually just recently had one of their monthly flea markets like they normally do, so those have been continuing. The building, the Main Street Junction that had the significant amount of damage, is working on repairs, so that is all in the process. And there's even some wonderful new investment and new businesses that has been coming into the downtown area there for Old Town. So we're excited about all the changes and the wonderful things that they're doing. And then even the downtown area itself, where we normally have like our all of our festivals and events, the Dancing Rabbit, the building there that got hit has been cleaned up, and there's some new possibilities and new businesses going around that area as well too. So honestly, from the tourism and economic development side of things, McAllister is thriving right now. We're doing very, very well. So it's exciting, and I can't wait to have you back down again to see some of the changes.
You might see us sooner than you think. You never know. I mean, it's like
That's right.
something we've been back west for a while, and we're like doing all this work on the Jefferson Highway Guide and the website, and it's huge. We're doing this huge map. And I know everyone's heard this on the last few shows, but this map, and Billy, I'm going to be sending it to you. You're going to have to look at it because we're literally putting every single town on the Jefferson Highway from Winnipeg to New Orleans. Every single town on the map. You click on the map, it shows you the route as best as we can do because there's all kinds of detours and things that have happened through the years. I mean, this route was created in 1915, and some towns actually got flooded out and moved. I mean, it's like there's a whole thing. And each town you'll be able to click on. It pops up with the town description, a photo, links to places like travelmcallister.com. So when you get to McAllister, that's your portal. And you can see how the route actually is, which is something that I think all of us have been waiting for, is this true map of what exactly, where, how, and who are the places on this route. And finally getting to McAllister, I mean, you talk about the downtown, the old town. Me, there was this real warmth. I don't know how to explain it any other way, but you know, when places have a sense of place, they've kept the integrity. Like to me, it's the Midwest, but you also have a true embodiment of the West, the old West, where
Yeah.
you are. And when we were downtown, I was just like, I could feel everything, like all history, you know, and then, you know, going to the cultural center, and there's just this culmination and diversity of people and culture, and then also just beautiful surroundings, you know. But that old town, downtown region, I just felt like, wow, you guys have preserved this really well. And to me, that's a huge draw. And when was it the Yardbird that we were at?
Yep. The Yardbird with Joe.
Yeah, Joe was talking on the podcast and how the connection goes back, you know, even to the Dust Bowl and to Steinbeck. And I was like, yeah, but, you know, we've done this part in California, and we have a show out of the Sequoia region, Central California. And those communities are made up of people from your area. And so we were talking, they were like, well, this and this happened. I said, yeah, well, I've been to McAllister. Have you? I'm on California shows talking about you because there's just, like I said, this warmth. And I don't know if it's like the architecture, the lighting of how the town is at that sundown kind of thing. And at the same time, just the people. It just feels like a warmth. And also you feel the grit of the place, like the history. I know that's a long, long thing I just said, but
No, but it's I appreciate it, and I can definitely agree. I mean, there really is something about the people in McAllister, especially the people that work within the hospitality and tourism industry, and those that you see within the shops in both downtown and Old Town. It's very unique, and they are the ones who are the driving, you know, blood of the community. They're the ones who are investing in the growth and seeing all of these things happen on, you know, such a microscopic level, but it makes such a huge ordeal as well too. And it definitely is the impression people get as they come in, and those stores and those areas and just the way that the community comes together for good and bad. I mean, it's one thing that is truly remarkable, and I think that really does set us apart from other communities.
and I love that you're connected with all the surrounding communities too. And that's what makes the Jefferson Highway to me. We talked about that in the conference. Like this is a corridor of like community to me.
We
And I think McAllister really shines on that.
Well, we try, and that's one of the things that you know, I don't know if this really isn't something really we have mentioned, but so since our last time I was on the podcast, and since we were talked about the Jefferson Highway, I've kind of switched gears a little bit in my role. So I was tourism
Oh,
manager for the city. I
oh.
recently have now taken a promotion, and I am now the new economic development director for the city of McAllister. So tourism still falls under my umbrella, so I get to push it at a larger level now. But we are, still growing and changing, and I now get to push not only tourism for the city, but also now business development, retention of those businesses, and trying to bring more business and industry into our area. And whether it was tourism or now economic development, I take a huge stance in McAllister being a regional partner and hub for everything that's happening in southeastern Oklahoma and definitely within the Choctaw Nation. So we can't be within our own bubble. We have to be partners and we have to work with the communities around us. We are much stronger together and we're a much more unified force, I think, when we look at ourselves as a regional partner more than just a single destination. Because you can stay in McAllister and within a good 30-40 minute drive experience so many wonderful things that, you could spend a day or two just with us. But if you want to see the region, you can definitely make it a weekend or sometimes even a week-long visit, depending on what's going on in the area.
Yeah, I think you're a great hub. I mean, Stringtown is near you, which has got some great Bonnie and Clyde history. They're doing some wonderful things, taking these old buildings and refurbishing them into bed and breakfast as a community doing it, which is another. You got Atoka's not far. I mean, you really have just, yeah. I mean, it's like this is where you're going to, like, you're the hub. Right.
Yeah,
Bringing in the right
absolutely.
business too. So that's also the part is playing and congratulations, by the way.
Thank
Good
you.
for you. You go. I mean, we all saw what Billy and his team did to make this Jefferson Highway conference come together. And I was just like, how did they all do this? This is amazing. And just, I think this is the whole thing is the integrity of a community and what does the community need? That's a balance and the economics, tourism. And I know, tourism is what feeds America big time. It's at the top 3 of industries.
It
And
is.
it is a huge deal. And as travelers, don't you feel good being part of that? You're having this grand experience. You are temporarily part of a community and sometimes you end up moving to those destinations you go to. Sometimes you end up moving and opening a business too. So it is all connected, but the economics of tourism is such a big, big deal when we look at what
Well,
happens in our country on a national and global level.
for sure. And I think you said it perfectly. And you actually took the words that our wonderful Lieutenant Governor in Oklahoma, Matt Pinnell, talks about constantly. He says, tourism is the front door to economic development. And that economic development starts with a trip. And it really does. It's somebody comes in, they visit a place. And as you said, they love it. They feel the warmth of it. They want to make it home. And then as they make it home, they think about opening up businesses and bringing industry. And it all starts with that trip to a place. I think that's one of the things I love about the hospitality industry and travel and tourism is the fact that, when we travel, we're looking to escape the stress and pressure of our ordinary lives and the things that we're doing. And when you can bring someone to a destination that takes them out of those worries and that stress, and you can show them a good time and bring that smile to their face, you definitely have created a memory and something that is worthwhile. And I really always strive to make sure that that's something we can do when we have groups and individuals coming to the city.
Yeah, and you are family friendly. That's the other thing.
We
And
are.
McAllister is definitely family friendly. And so I just want to go right here about, I want to know what's going on with dancing rabbits.
Yeah, well, and you mentioned us being a regional partner, so I do have to say a couple of things. One huge event that is coming up here for our area is in Robbers Cave State Park. So it's coming up on October 17th, 18th, and 19th. So it's 3 days. It is their fall festival, and it is phenomenal. Happens right there in the middle of the state park, and they bring in hundreds of cars for a car show. They have games and all kinds of inflatable zones and bungee trampolines, hot air balloons this year, all kinds of rides and activities for the kids, plus hundreds of craft vendors that come in, live music. It's just a wonderful festival that's been going on for a very long time. It's actually been a good tradition for this area. I wish I could remember exactly how many years that it's been happening, but it really is remarkable what they do. We get a lot of people that come and they stay in McAllister and go visit the festival that weekend. So I think it's very, very worthwhile to come to the area. And so if anyone's around for that weekend, definitely have to come to McAllister and head over to Robbers Cave and experience their fall festival.
Cool. So that's a fall festival. The Dancing Rabbit is a music festival. That's a little different, right?
It is, yeah. So the Dancing Rabbit Music Festival, they normally do May, June, and July, but they always do a fall festival as well too on a fall music festival on there. And so they will be coming back again with their next show in November. Their date that they have on that one is going to be November the 8th. And it will actually feature Brent Cobb is one of the artists that will be there, and all kinds of other wonderful things happening with it. There's a Ribtoberfest that happens around that same time. So they really get out there, and it's, again, another wonderful time in McAllister to experience all kinds of different stuff that's happening with the Dancing Rabbit and with the Ribtoberfest.
Ribtober. Pigs all the way down. Hey,
Well,
listen, I'm all, I'm in. Bacon.
It is, and I'll tell you, it is a remarkable community event that sprung up, and it's been going on for quite a few years as well. And they just happen to be something where they were like, we have a lot of friends that are really good at grilling, and we should start having these competitions and seeing who's the best. And now it started not only just as a on the street community event, but it's expanded into bringing people from multiple states in and having this competition. And they usually have about 30 to 40 different cooks that set up, and they will grill all day long and have competitions for like the best bite. They'll have stuff going on for the whole community, and you can come out and experience it all. It really is a fun community event that really brings out that kind of neighborly fun right there on the street.
I have to say, one of your neighbors, Vanita, on the last show, part 1 of this podcast of, episode series of Fall on the Highway, Vanita, apparently they have a calf fry contest, and I had to learn about that, what that was.
Yeah.
And so everyone go Google that, pigs may be more your style. I don't know. But, that's the thing. It's part of like the heritage of the land too, right? Farming, agriculture is all part of. So I think it's so cool about fall on the Jefferson Highway is, when you think about the highway, agriculture stands tall, like literally with your cornfields too, in regards to the communities. A lot of the communities are based in ag. And so that's something to think about when you want to experience fall, go on the highway and start going to these communities because they're really celebrating good, harvest seasons and everything. There's a McAllister Landscape Fall Festival. That's fun, but you've got some creepy things going on too. True crime cemetery tours. We didn't go to a cemetery. Now I need to go to a cemetery. True crime cemetery tours. You've got a backwoods horror con. What's going on? You got some creepy stuff, huh?
It is that wonderful Halloween season as well, too. So, yeah, from, again, those Comic-Cons to the cemetery tours, we've got some haunted trails that are going on as well, too. It's at Black Rock Ridge, which is a wonderful, it's not only an RV, but they've got trails and stuff that go through their area. So, yeah, there's a lot of really great stuff that happens. And again, I know you've mentioned it many a times, but you can find it all on travelmcallister.com. There's just too many for us to mention and talk about. Going back to fall festivals, we have one just for the Pittsburgh County that they'll be doing out at the Expo Center as well. So that will be happening this weekend on there. So that'll be wonderful. Again, I know a little short notice, but if you're in the around McAllister area, just stop in and see the fall festival out at the Expo. It's October 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So lots of fun going on there. And then you mentioned the Landscape Supply, the fall festival that they do. Wonderful time out there with them. They've done some really cool community events there, and they're really starting to get more into the community as well. So it's great to see, again, all of these wonderful new businesses that have popped up that are investing and doing so much. And one last other really big event that I want to mention is our McAllister Oktoberfest.
That's what I wanted. That was my thing. I was going to say, Billy, which event do you think, other than the creepy stuff, that I want to go to the most,
Yeah, if it's this month, it's probably going to be the McAllister Oktoberfest. It's October 24th and 25th. It's a Friday and Saturday. So things will kick off on Friday around 4 p.m. and then it'll go all day Saturday, all the way till 10 that evening. And the same thing, we have hot air balloons. We've got authentic German food. There's going to be a battle of the bands. A music artist, Bo Phillips, is going to be performing there. Tons of vendors, activities and stuff for the kids. So the German dancers last year and some of the German musicians that we had were just spectacular. Like, I've never experienced the fun and culture that they brought with that. And This is technically our third year, really the second, because last year it changed so much from the first idea that came around. They expanded so much. They went from doing a small festival on the street within a couple blocks to now packing out the entire 80,000 square foot expo center. So it's remarkable what all they have done. There'll be some mud bog going on. So it'll be outdoor with the giant monster trucks running through the wet, muddy areas. They've got a cornhole tournament. They're actually working on a drag strip that'll be going out there. It won't be active for this one, but it'll be coming up hopefully for next year, where they'll have some drag races and all kinds of other stuff that'll be happening. So it's just a lot to see. I can't imagine how many people have come together to make this event succeed. It really is a lot of wonderful groups and organizations working together. And for an event that is so new, they're looking probably to have over 10,000 people come this year to the festival. So it really is a remarkable what they've accomplished. And I love the commercials and videos we've seen, and you can check out some of those on our Facebook, on just McAllister Tourism on Facebook. So it's really cool to see what all that they've got going on and how big that event's going. And I did forget to mention, we're going back to our Dancing Rabbit people. One of our other great artists that'll be playing is going to be Brian White. Will be playing as well too. He's country artist that was very, very popular, and so he'll be right on the streets of McAllister performing his songs. And he just released some new singles that I hope we get to hear as well. So
put your cowboy boots on then. I'm loving this. And the other thing I wanted to ask before you go, because I asked everybody this, what does it look like in fall in McAllister? And to me, I'm thinking that you have those sunsets. Do you have the big sunsets? I'm even just looking on your website right now. Travel McAllister. Look, he's a good economic director here already, right? He's already pushing this website. He was doing it last time. It's good. TravelMcAllister.com. Linked in the episode notes. But are those sunsets? Because October is known for them. Do you get those with the sky?
We get great sunsets, especially around the Lake Eufaula area. They're beautiful. It's gorgeous to sit out there. This is honestly, like, I love summer because of all the activities that go on, but I burn really, really easily. So me and the hot weather don't get along very well. So
Billy is a McAllister. He is. He's a McAllister. He is.
I am. Fall is definitely more my time. I like getting out there. I love being able to sit outside, enjoy the cooler evenings, watch the sunsets, and just be, around the community and these events that are going on. So yeah, I think if you had to kind of summarize of what McAllister looks like in the fall, it would just be a beautiful community.
You know what? And then he's going to come on for the holiday season and say, this is the best time of year to come to McAllister. I know you, Billy, because it's going to be your favorite season. And spring will come around and you're going to tell me it's the best season. You're going to do it every time because it's true, right? It's like you can't really say, you can't pick your favorite child, right? But I know you're going to, because it's a beautiful area. Everyone, travelmcallister.com. Billy, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I always look forward to getting on here too. And I know I'll be back anytime you want me. So just let me know.
Calling you soon. I've got an idea.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us here on the Big Blend Radio Jefferson Highway Show. The show airs every fourth Thursday, and we encourage you to go to jeffersonhighway.org to learn more about the Jefferson Highway Association or even become a member. You can also dig into the history of the highway and share travel notes with friends at the Jefferson Highway Association Facebook group. Follow our shows at bigblendradio.com. Happy travels!